Hi Sally, how are you today? Good to be here.
Fine, thank you, Harry. We're just at the end of our lovely weather and it's turning very cold and chilly from tomorrow onwards, I think.
Yeah, I think so. We've still got blue skies here.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
very,
rain, we're going to get rain, which is great.
it's, I've had my roof fixed, so it won't be raining inside the house anymore. Yay.
Right, good, good. So I've been doing videos and I shot a video last week or so on jigsaws
Jigsaws,
because
fantastic.
they're awesome. Big part of my practice.
It's
Yeah.
such a very timely topic because even the Prime Minister has said, go home and do a jigsaw. And I watched your video and it opened my mind a lot more about jigsaws because we always grew up doing them, didn't we? But yeah, you are the jigsaw expert and I can understand how you apply it in your work with kids. You know, it was fascinating watching this video. So, yeah.
So people think that jigsaws are really simple, but they're really complex, actually.
Mm.
And even if you think about um, where to start, a lot of people get stuck on where to start
Mm.
and they freeze. And then I don't like jigsaws, you know, I don't do them, that sort of thing. I had an engineer who did the outside of the jigsaw, just did the edge pieces.
Yep.
He's an adult, and he couldn't find one of the edge pieces, and it stopped him in his tracks. Couldn't do it anymore. I said, well, just move on. What's the next thing? And it really went against the grain. It was really hard for him to let go of that one edge piece that he couldn't find and move on. And that's for sure going to reflect what happens in his life, in other parts of his life, where he's got a sequence of steps in his head
Yep.
and he can't fulfill one of the steps.
Yeah. And I love that because how many jigsaw puzzles have you got at home that have got missing pieces? You can't complete them because there's actually just, they've gone out of the box over the years. But they're little pieces.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting. And it's allowing yourself to let go and move on. But you can't let go. It's like a dog with a bone. It's like, oh, I can't let go. Really
It's about being adaptable, being flexible. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
So when I say jigsaws are complicated, you need a strategy.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to know where you're going to start, where you're coming from, where you're going to.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of kids don't have that skill. They have no idea. They're just sitting there, got all these pieces here, no idea what to do. So as a parent, whenever you've got a child who's challenged by something, you have the choice. Are you going to dive in and be a helicopter parent?
Mm.
Are you going to scaffold them to bits?
Mm.
Or are you going to stand back and let them struggle a bit? And, you know, that's the challenge for a parent, to know when to step back, which is really hard, and when to come in with scaffolding. So when I say scaffolding, what I mean by that is if a child is sitting in front of a puzzle and they don't know what to do, then, and they've been sitting there for a little while, then you can go in and say, well, you could start, you know, on, you know, that piece there, the bit with the wooden pattern, or you could start with the red on my shirt, or you could start with my glasses or my lips. And then we'd agree on that. And then I would then suggest that they get those pieces and pull them out, locate them and pull them out in front of them, push all the other pieces away. So we reduce the complexity. And like everybody, we can only do one step at a time.
Yep.
You and I are doing this in this moment. We can't do what's after this. We can only try and do this properly. So then if we pick the glasses, say, then we've got the glasses bits and the kid will put those together. When they've done that, then they can go on to the next bit.
The next one.
But if they've got a strategy and they know where to start, then you don't need to advise them. Just let them do it.
It's interesting because my earliest memory with my kids doing jigsaws was like a 4-piece jigsaw. just very basic 4 pieces. So all got edges and one little connecting bit through it. And then as they got older, it went into 8. And it's and what about the puzzles with the matching the shape? So it might be a sheep and you have to put a sheep in, or it might be a horse or a rabbit or something. Those match the shapes in the puzzles were really popular with my kids. Might have been.
They're called whimsies.
Whimsies. Is that right?
And they actually exist in high-end adult puzzles.
Really? Whimsies? Wow. High-end adult puzzles, right. They were a massive hit with my kids, and actually a lot of my kids had used the puzzles that I had growing up because they was still very basic and very valid. It's just pick and slot. So a whimsy, WHIMSEY, like.
I think so, yeah.
Wow, wow.
So you're talking about well over $100.
Yeah, right. And how did they compare with jigsaws?
Well, the whimsy was a part of a traditional hand-cut plywood jigsaw.
Right.
It would have had those in them, and it would also have things like they cut along colour changes. So if you had, say, the boundary between this picture and the wall, they would cut the interlocks along there. So the only hint you'd have that the pieces went together would be the projecting bits.
Right, right. And so coming to jigsaw puzzles, with you talking about the complexity, colour is really important, matching in there. And in your video, you had one with a lot of grass. And that's very difficult trying to match pieces with the grass. So shape with, as you said, if there's glasses that you can pick out, big things that you can, bow tie, for example, or something like that, ears or nose. But when it's grass or, I don't know, sand or water or something like that, it's very difficult to do. And so in your video, you're also doing age-related puzzles. We're looking at the Ravensburger jigsaw puzzles. And you were saying...
That's right. I mean, it's a guide. It's a guide.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a guide, yeah. Like every guide, you take it, use it as it's useful. Yeah.
So,
but in order to color match or shape match, or the figurative patterns, to match them is hard for some children.
Yep.
Hard for some adults. The other thing is, often people have no idea about the power of their intuition. You and I both know and trust our intuition, but when you're doing a puzzle, often your intuition will allow you to pick up a piece and find the right piece to go where you're looking. And often you'll doubt that. But because when you try it, you don't put it in the right way around, but then if you rotate it, it'll fit. It's amazing how often that happens. So without consciously thinking, without consciously picking a piece, your hand will do it for you.
Amazing.
And that'll happen in life too. How often is it that you go to do something and you just happen to pick up the thing that's most useful for you?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And if you trust it, it opens up your awareness to it.
Yeah. Tapping into the unconscious, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. Being guided by that. So have you always used jigsaws with your clients, with the kids?
Yeah, always. Because when I went to Denver to do the training with psychiatrist Dr. Minson, he uses them. And I just thought, wow, I've always loved puzzles. And if you use what you love, well, it's going to work better. And then...
Sorry, go on.
You go.
I was just going to say, how long have jigsaws been around? Because they must have been around like forever. I mean, haven't you cut them, I suppose? So it must have been...
They were cut with jigsaws.
Yeah.
That's why they call that.
Yeah.
They were cut out of plywood in small volumes. The earliest one I have is from the mid-30s in the US, but they go back before that. I don't know how far. Yeah. actually think you could cut them out with lasers down.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, 3D cutting. Yeah, it's just I don't know anybody that hasn't grown up with jigsaws. It's just from families through to school, through to something to do on a rainy day, and spreading out on the table. And that's where I was bringing up the lost pieces, because you always lose a piece. It's under the couch, you get caught up in the vacuum cleaner, whatever it is. It's just like, damn, and you're looking everywhere and you just can't find that piece.
I know. I like doing them in winter, I must say, on the dining table.
Yeah. My sister always has a jigsaw puzzle out, always spread out everywhere.
You're gonna get one out this winter, Sally?
Well, now that I'm spring cleaning the house, I'm going to have some space on the table to do it. I've had my tacks out on the dining table for a good couple of years, but that's cleared up now, so I've got some space back. There's nothing better than sprawling out and got the heater on and hot chocolate or a cup of tea or something. It's great.
If you go to my favourite shop, the B word, and
Big W?
you can get Bunnings, the
B
word.
Sorry. Yeah. Bunnings wouldn't have jigsaws. It has the actual jigsaw cutter.
No, they have the plastic sheets. They have thick plastic sheet, and you can buy that. So you're doing a jigsaw on your dining room table, and you put that on top, and you can eat on top of it.
Yeah. Good idea.
Or put your tacks on top.
Not anymore. But those Ravensburger's puzzles are just beautiful, really colourful. Just really.
Some of them are colourful. Some are not. There are lots of pastels.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, lots and lots. If you have a look online, and so better to shoot for the ones that have really distinct features and high colours. So cars, cranes, fish, so on. Yeah. Very good. Well, I'm looking forward to getting one out, busting one out. In winter I often go down to the op shops.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Guarantee you have a few pieces missing there.
$5. No, they count them all.
Really?
They are complete. They're hand counted. Yes.
Wow. Fantastic.
Yes.
That's a really good idea. All those old European landscapes and quite a few up on the shelf. So yeah, good idea. Pull them out. And now's the perfect time to pull them out. And it's a bit of family bonding as well. Whilst we're in ISO and at night time, because I'm not a TV watcher and I had to resort to watch some TV because it's just like going a little bit crazy. So
oh my goodness. I after this I'll give you a couple of recommendations.
What to watch?
So yeah, I use jigsaws in my practice because they produce a positive clinical outcome.
Yep.
They connect the brain because you use so many of the senses. Yep. And I'm sure a lot of our viewers are familiar with the Montessori school system. That was established by a lovely woman called Maria Montessori in Italy. Mm-hmm. And she pioneered the use of jigsaw puzzles for educational purposes. And they are so powerful because they are so complex.
Yeah.
And just because you can identify the difference between an edge bit and a middle bit doesn't mean to say that your child will have the same ease, because they probably won't. And if they don't know that, it's really hard.
Yep.
Frustrating for them. If you say, well, why don't you do the edges? And they don't know which bits they are.
Yeah.
And then you make them feel like they're a bit stupid. But it's not about intelligence, it's about pattern recognition, which is quite different. And that's why I love jigsaws. Yeah.
Well, Harry, the movie that you put together is awesome. I highly recommend everybody have a look. Put the link on with this.
I will.
It's a lot of fun, but lots of information in a little movie, and it's really inspiring, and it's colourful, and it's got you featured all the way through, and it's excellent. It's double thumbs, Harry. It's double thumbs, honey.
Yeah. Straighten my bow tie. It's kind of...
Oh, well, I look forward to another wonderful topic next week as we're whizzing through this ISO together.
Definitely. Okay. See you next week, Sally.